So today it's Saturday. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's Saturday. That means today is Belugorn Day, or in other words, it's time to smash some camps. Usually we have a lot of players try to camp our home system, and well, that's where the Blockade run of Belugorn kicks in. This ship is built to take a lot of damage. It's built to withstand basically a big fleet. So far, it's been working quite well, and I did improve the rigs on the Belugorn to make it even more lethal against such fleets. Now, I did stumble upon one little problem, and that is the capacitor if I'm getting neutralized from a lot of ships. And I plan to fix that. So that's the last adjustment left to be made on this ship. And after I adjust that, after I replace the necessary rigs, then this thing will be one tanky Belugorn. Now, speaking of the other ship that I will fly today, the Ortus. Well, I mean, you all probably know how I fly this ship. I don't plan to change anything on the Ortus. I did find the current build to be the most lethal and the most effective build that I could make, and I will fly the ship this way until I hit the maximum kill mark count, which I believe I'm only like 10 kills away from that, so you can expect a special video for the Ortus after I reach that number. Well then, since today it's weekend, actually it's Saturday, it's time to hop in the Belugorn, and well, I believe it's also time to see if someone has enough courage to go and play on our gate. If there are some players at our gate, they will meet the Belugorn very soon. Alright, well, I did sit here for a while, and there is a Dominix that just jumped in out of nowhere, and that's today's first target. As you can see, this is a different build from what I usually have on this ship. Triple armor repair. The exact stats will be shown, I believe, when I change my engineering rigs to make it even more cap stable than it already is. But so far, this fit does work quite well. Although I would recommend to change the neutralizer into another Nosferatu, just to make sure that the capacitor is absolutely stable. Well, that Dominix seems to be asleep, I don't know. Although, you're going to see a very interesting fit on that battleship once it's destroyed. And also no nanocore, that's very weird. Usually all ships that I see at least have the green nanocore, but that's fine. I mean, nanocores are not necessary to have on your ship. I don't have a nanocore on this Belugorn, although I really should, because it would improve my performance quite a bit. That was a PvP Dominix, although was kinda sleeping at this gate for some reason. Although still was a very nice kill. Okay, warping through this gate. There was a report of a small fleet at the other side. Let's see what will happen. Okay, there is 7 in local. Couple reds, couple neutrals. This is gonna be fun. Alright, we have a Rattlesnake, there is a tier 3 interdictor, and there is a Daredevil. I think I'll just go after the Daredevil, because the Daredevil will go try and web me. I can't afford to be webbed by that, so let's approach the gate and let's focus fire the Daredevil. The capacitor on the Daredevil should go down in less than a cycle. My goal here is to shoot down these 2 ships. That Rattlesnake is a bait, by the way. I know that player. It's a very tanky Rattlesnake. Okay, Daredevil fell into my trap. Their capacitor is getting destroyed. I mean, their capacitor is probably depleted at this moment. the tier 3 interdictor decided to run. That's a smart decision. Okay, I haven't been webbed, so that's good. It means the capacitor on the Daredevil is depleted. And they are going down. Alright, Daredevil has been destroyed. Let's play with that Rattlesnake a little bit. That Rattlesnake is using dual neutralizers. I believe the Rattlesnake has 1 or 2 capacitor batteries, so I have to be careful because I have a neutralizer and my capacitor doesn't appear to be that stable with that neutralizer. That's why I should have replaced it with a Nosferatu. It's something that I will also change further down the road. Alright, well, let's approach the gate and let's see what will happen. If there is no ships coming in, I will go and try to shoot down that Rattlesnake, although I know how these players play and there is definitely more ships close by. Okay, let's re-engage the Rattlesnake now. Our Apocalypse got caught in the bubble. I believe the opponents decided to bubble a little bit away from the gate to prevent us from landing. That's fine. I still have enough capacitor left. The Rattlesnake is most likely depleted. It most likely depleted its own capacitor, but the capacitor batteries can be a problem. Overall, it appears that I am holding out quite well. But because of the very suspicious situation here, I will be very careful what I'm doing. Alright, after maybe 15 minutes of playing with Rattlesnake, I decided to warp back to change my fit a little bit. And I think I'll use 3 Nosferatus. Okay, a Raven will be tackled in a moment. I need to get within range. And they are at 37 kilometers. I just need to approach a couple more kilometers to have them in the web and point range. And of course to improve the efficiency of my Nosferatus and neutralizer. The Raven is using shield extenders. Okay. I am close to the gate in case anything happens that we haven't planned. There are a couple reds in local and also a couple friendlies. That's good. The capacitor on the Raven should be getting low any second now. A Megathron jumped in. Okay, that's the secondary target. The Raven is shooting at me. They're using, I believe, rapid missiles. I believe the Megatron will also start to shoot at me at any moment. Once my capacitor starts to deplete itself, that means the capacitor on the Raven is also depleted. I will most likely use my Nosferatus and neutralizers on the Megatron when that happens. So far, yeah, the Raven is unable to use the shield extenders. Whoops, that was a mistake. Let's quickly lock the Battleship again and let's quickly shoot at it again. They're now at low shield. I have been webbed and scrambled by the Megatron. My tank will hold quite well. 2 battleships are basically no problem. Raven falling down very quickly. And they are now in hull. I'm preparing for the secondary target, which will be the Megatron. I believe there are more ships on the way. And the Raven has been destroyed. Now it's time to focus on the Megatron. Look at that mining ship that just popped in. Probably like 3 billion in price. Okay, the Megatron stopped shooting. That means they want to jump through the gate. Now, at this range, I can't really bump them away from the gate. I'm too slow. So there's a chance that we can shoot it down within that minute that we have before it can jump. Its capacitor is also depleted, by the way. So they can't use the armor plates anymore. Well, I did expect that to happen. They jumped through the gate. Okay, well, still was a nice kill on the Raven. Well, for some weird reason the Megatron decided to jump back. Now, I believe that means more opposing ships are on the way. So we have to shoot down the Megatron as quickly as we can, and then we will most likely have an entire fleet jump on us. But if we do this the right way, we can shoot down the Megatron and we can jump through the gate. Okay, there is the battleship. Let's quickly go and approach. I need to be within optimal range as quickly as possible. The shield of the Megatron has been removed basically in one single hit. That's the alpha damage of Apocalypse Striker. These ships do a lot of damage. They are very scary. Okay, Megatron is going down. Logistic cruiser landed. That's the secondary target. The Logi did arrive just a little bit too late to help the Megatron, but they didn't come. They didn't arrive late to get destroyed. So that works in our favor here. And they have been also destroyed basically in a couple hits. Very nice. And you can see the locals spiking. We did expect that. We did accomplish our goal. We have destroyed the two ships before they could call in for help. Well then, I guess it's time to wait a little bit and see what happens. If we can take on the fleet, we will shoot all of them down. Now, after waiting for some time, the Rattlesnake here decided to stick around the gate. And I personally believe that this is a bait. So, I mean, I'll gladly take the bait. I can take an entire fleet to shoot at me. I just need to be careful to time my aggression timer with the amount of capacitor and armor that I have left. Alright, interesting. It looks like the Rattlesnake is not shooting back. Now that is very sus if you ask me. Why aren't they shooting back? Are they AFK? I mean, I would love if they're AFK. That would be a very nice kill. Alright, so sorry, by the way, sorry for the weird cut. Was shooting at this ship for a while. They are definitely not AFK, I can confirm that. Although they are definitely a bait, and you will see locals spiking up again. And I kinda found out what kind of build that ship has. They're definitely using full shield resistance rig integrations, and I would say they have at least dual capacitor batteries and 3 large shield boosters, or 2 large shield boosters, while the rest are shield hardeners, because the capacitor on the Rattlesnake has been depleted for some time, yet they still managed to boost shield. So yeah, they definitely have capacitor batteries, at least 2 of them, with at least 2 or 3 shield boosters. And I know that they don't have capacitor when my own capacitor starts to go down. So they're using capacitor battery cap to maintain the ship. Now, when both capacitor batteries are on cooldown, you will notice me doing full damage on the shield. And that's when their capacitor is entirely depleted, and that's when they can't boost shield anymore. Now the only thing that they need to do is accidentally shoot at any of us, and this Rattlesnake will be destroyed without a problem. Now I said that I will change my large neutralizer. Turns out I don't have a replacement large Nosferatu that's suitable for this ship, so I just decided to keep the large neutralizer for now. And well, as expected, the Rattlesnake has jumped through the gate. A little later, the Rattlesnake did not show up, but we did manage to catch that Oracle that is also part of the same fleet from before, I believe. They tried to land at a sniping safe spot, but unfortunately our bubble was in the way, and they practically warped right into the bubble, so they were kinda unlucky for this. Now I'm thinking, what kind of bonus should I take on the Belugorn nanocore? Should I go for DPS, for range, or should I go full tank? I believe like I should go full tank on that nanocore, because I could really use a little bit more tank. You can never have enough tank in the Belugorn. Would be even more deadly for smashing camps. Basically the thing that I bought this ship for. Alright, that was a nice kill. Well then, time to hop in the Ortus, and the first target for the Ortus is that Machariel. Now there is a fun story how that Machariel got caught. I woke up, it was early in the morning. I woke up, undocked, and I was about to go get some rigs and of course to sell some items. But I decided to scan, and I did see this one big signature warping from the high sec gate to the null sec gate, and I decided to follow. Might be a nice kill. When I realized that I couldn't catch the ship in warp, I figured out that it had to be a Machariel, because no other ship, no other battleship is that fast in warp. And well, thankfully the crew was already up and running early in the morning, and we did coordinate the warps, the jumps. Eventually we did catch this ship, and trust me, it was a big surprise. I really did not expect to stumble upon a Machariel 5 minutes after waking up from my sleep. Was quite a weird experience, but in any case I'm not gonna complain. Faction Battleship served early in the morning. Well, who will say no to that? Well, I'm doing a lot of damage on that ship. The Ortus is I believe the Ortus is like the only cruiser that can do so much alpha damage on basically any ship out there, and that makes this ship very unique. The Machariel is now in hull. They are going down very quickly, by the way. A little bit below 50% hull, I would say 45, but kinda difficult to tell when they're losing 30% hull per hit. One more hit left. They're holding at 1% hull at that moment. Alright, nice. You know, I really love the explosions, the new explosions with the recent update. They did change a lot of effects, by the way. I noticed the blasters look better explosions look better, and some ships actually look way better than before. Next target, we have another Machariel. Let's quickly point them. Okay, pointed. Now I have 6 points. The Abaddon has 15 points, and the Machariel has been pointed and scrambled. Now watch what happens in the next couple moments. Watch what happens. It's very funny. And they also used a large shield extender. They just simply warped away. Now, we had at least 21 points on that ship. That's a lot of points. And that tells me they have been using the Deathwish nanocore. There is no other way that they could have warped away from that many points. But thankfully, there is not a lot of these nanocores running around. Next time I'll have more points, or perhaps I'll just use scramblers for that ship. Now, well, I think you all probably know what this player is doing here, so let me just send this one missile out, and nice. Alright, another insurance scam prevention successful. And oh boy, that build on that ship is something, let me tell you that much. I haven't seen anything close to the build of that ship yet. And trust me, I had to like take a break after seeing the build of that ship. I was kind of shocked. It even had a faction drone. Like, what? But still, not a bad kill. It was pretty good. And now, Ortus versus Belugorn. The Belugorn is, I would say, the scariest battleship in the game, although the Belugorn is also vulnerable to Mordu ships. And the Ortus is basically the main enemy of the Belugorn. So, how about a real challenge? Let's shoot down a Belugorn in the Ortus. The last 5 Belugorns that I've encountered all had stabs. And I really pray that this one doesn't, because I really want to do a 1v1 with a Belugorn. I did a 1v1 with a Rattlesnake, with Machariels. I believe I did fight a Vindicator once, but it did have stabs. It looks like this Belugorn is not going anywhere. That's good news so far. Now I have one tracking computer, not tracking computer, I have one tracking disruptor, my apologies. That should help me at avoiding any potential hits from the Belugorn, but at this range I should be safe from the large pulse lasers. I haven't been, they're not using any Nosferatu or neutralizers on me. That is kinda smart, because if they were doing that, they would be losing capacitor over time. Because of the distance, I am at 40 kilometers. Neutralizers and Nosferatus just can't reach at this range. I am safe from that. So they maintain the capacitor by using the Nosferatu on the other pirate ships that are around. Even with that, I'm still managing to go through the tank, and they are slowly going down. I'm making my way through the armor of the Belugorn a little bit. Should be an interesting fight. One that I was personally looking for. Oh, well, I guess I spoke too soon. They had stabs. Well, Belugorn with stabs number 6. Alright, well, I will keep track of that. Okay, we have another target.
Warp drive active.
Let's warp towards the prophecy. Drone boats are the main threat against Mordu ships, especially against the Ortus. Drone boats can do serious damage to this cruiser, and I have to be very careful. Okay, there's the prophecy. They are using 3 drones. That's kind of weird. The prophecy has 4 drones last time I checked. Well, okay. That's interesting. They are pointed. I will maintain this distance, this range, and of course this velocity. Will try to orbit and shoot down the prophecy as quickly as I can. I can tank the drones for a while. I usually fight until 50% hull, sometimes 25% hull, depends how close the fight is. Looks like the drones are trying to chase me, but I would say that I'm a little bit faster than the drones. Yep, I'm a little bit faster than the drones. Nice. That was a nice kill. Let's go and see what's inside of the wreck, and then I can wait out the criminal timer. Hopefully without anyone interrupting that. It happens sometimes. I get even jumped when I'm waiting out the criminal timer, but in that case I'm usually very far away from the mission, so even if they try to catch me, they can't. Alright, we have a Rapture. I really hope that we do get high tier Rapture in the future. If we do, oh man, let me tell you, in the future, if we get, I mean, on the Ask Me Anything event that the developers did hold a couple days ago, they did say something about bringing more ships, bringing more low tier ships into high tiers, and I'm personally looking forward for that. I would definitely play a lot of more ships, except besides the faction ships. I would love to play the Rapture again. I love that ship in EVE Online, and I bet I would love it as well in this game. And I can't wait for more ships to be introduced, to be honest. Exciting, really exciting for me.
Warp drive active.
And well, let's warp towards the next, and I believe the last target for today. There is a Caracal sniper on the scanner, and I am hopefully going to warp at the right distance. You never know what we can get with the snipers, because some of them can be good traps. Well, that is a perfect warping. Yeah, that's a excellent warping. Basically, just barely outside of the scrambler range. They have been pointed. I'm now orbiting at full speed. They are in the sniper mode, I believe, or they might have actually went out of the sniper mode, because I'm taking some good damage from that cruiser. And one more hit, they should go down. Very nice. That was also a pretty nice kill. Alright, well, let's get the wreck and the pod if possible. Today was a very good roam. I did have a lot of fun flying the Belugorn. Really looking forward to even more, improve the ship even more. There is always room for improvement. And I believe when I change the engineering rigs, that ship will be very scary. That's what I believe will happen. But with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. Was again very nice run with both the Belugorn and the Ortus. Some very nice kills, and always I'm looking forward for more PvP. Always looking forward for more PvP. And of course, who knows? Someday we might even get a capital ship served right at our home system. Anyway, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.